But it is 6:30, so I would like to call the Flint Board of Education regular board meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Board members, as I call your name, please reply present for the public record. Vice President Wright? Absent. Secretary Ramsdell? Betty?
She's muted.
I can see Betty. I can see Betty, so I'm saying she's here.
Here, can you hear me now?
Good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like an angel, Betty, like an angel. Treasurer Green?
Present.
Trustee McIntosh? Trustee McIntosh? Trustee Perry?
Present.
Trustee Strozier?
For the last time, present.
And I myself am present for the last time as well. Vice President Wright, have you joined?
He texted me.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay. Somebody's phone is ringing. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me. So, board, if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, we can stand, and then we'll do a countdown so we can all try to do it in sync, if that makes sense to everybody, or should we just start and then go from there? What do you think?
Start and go from there. We'll follow.
All right. Perfect. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Before we proceed with our meeting, I will now turn the floor over to Superintendent Stewart to take a few moments to acknowledge and thank our retiring board members. Ms. Stewart?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jones, are you ready?
Yes, I don't have control of the screen though.
Okay. Stephen, can you allow Mr. Jones to please share his screen?
Okay, hold on 1 second. All right.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Board members, as well as any staff or community members who are listening, we have 3 board members who are leaving us. We want to acknowledge them. The very first one is our board president, Casey Lester. We normally would give the gift in person, but since we are virtual, we had to do things a little different today. And so Board President Lester received a bell that is engraved, as well as a basket of some of his favorite things. So I wanted to say to you, Board President Lester, thank you for your service. Thank you for your support of the staff and students of Flint Community Schools, as well as myself during this transition from assistant superintendent to interim superintendent and to the wonderful seat of serving as superintendent. It has been an honor to work alongside of you. And so I wanted to once again say, Board President, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Anita. That's very kind.
They're just showing my picture.
So next we have Secretary Betty Ramsdale. She also received a bell that is engraved with her years of service, as well as a basket of all of her favorite things. Wanted to say to you, Secretary Ramsdale, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your support of me through my transition in Flint Community Schools. I've had the opportunity to work with Secretary Ramsdale for a while, and really got to know her a little better when I was principal at Freeman Elementary School. So I appreciate you and your support throughout the years of following me from being a teacher to an administrator, and then to be able to serve in central office. It has been a pleasure working alongside of you. I thank you for the many days of you sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with me. Those are some conversations that I will carry with me forever. So wanted to say thank you, Secretary Ramsdale, for your years of service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I know that guy.
You know this guy? Who's this guy? Oh, let's see. What can I say about Trustee Strozier? Trustee Strozier, it has definitely been an honor and a privilege to, one, know you, two, to have a relationship with you. I believe our relationship go back to when I was principal. I thank you for your support. I thank you for the many times that you would visit my building, to walk through the building, to make sure that everything was decent, in order, and to see whether or not I had any questions that you could help answer for me, or any barriers that I could help navigate. It has definitely been an honor working alongside of you. This board is not going to be the same without you. We're definitely going to miss you. We're going to miss that baby popping up every now and then. But definitely want to say thank you for your years of service. Of all the people, Mr. Strozier was the most difficult to shop for, because I didn't have his favorites list. And so I had to call his beautiful wife to find out, what does board member Strozier like? And so I'm very glad that she was able to share some of the things that you like, and hopefully you found some of those items in your basket that you can share with that beautiful baby.
I'm an old soul. Diet cranberry juice is just fine.
All right. So thank you for your service, Trustee Strozier. It's definitely been an honor and a privilege to get to know you as well. And so, to our 3 board members, we wish you nothing but the best. We want you to not forget about Flint Community Schools. You know, pop in every now and then to see how it's going, and how things are doing. But we wish you well. So please enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
go
Diana
ahead.
said she's on to let you know, Casey.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Superintendent. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the effort and thought that was put into our gifts. It's not often I get a basket full of pork rinds and coffee, but every time I do, it's just as good as I could ever imagine it to be. So thank you very much. That being said, oh, go ahead. What'd you say?
Pork rinds and coffee, man.
Yeah, those are my favorite things, and a nice big old beer mug. That's really all it takes to make me happy.
I understand, man.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to entertain a motion and a second to approve the minutes in batch from the November 4th, 2020 Finance and Operations Subcommittee, November 10th, 2020 Governance Subcommittee meeting, November 16th, 2020 Academic Subcommittee meeting, November 18th regular board meeting, December 2nd, 2020 Finance and Operations, December 3rd special board meeting, December 9th special board meeting, December 9th board committee of the whole meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any corrections?
No, but can we put the agenda back on the screen, please? Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Seeing none, the motion to approve the minutes in batch will be conducted via roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve the minutes in batch. Vice President Wright. Secretary Ramsdell.
Yes.
Treasurer Green.
Yes.
Trustee McIntosh. Trustee Perry.
Yes.
Trustee Strozier.
Yes.
That's a yes for me. The motion passes 5-0.
You didn't hear
At
her,
this
did
time,
you? You
Hear
didn't
who?
hear Diana, did you?
I did not. No, is she there? Did she say something?
Yeah, she's here, but we can't hear her. So I'm
she
texting
muted?
her. I'm texting her.
She shows as self-muted. I just sent her an unmute request.
Say that again.
She shows
Just
as
unmuted
self-muted.
myself.
There we go.
I just unmute. Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay.
We can.
Yeah.
Great.
Grant, did you vote on that last one? Did you vote yes?
Yes.
So the motion passes 6-0. At this time, the board will hear any comments from the public regarding agenda items. Members of the public are reminded that the Board of Education by its bylaw 1370 are not obligated to answer questions, make statements, or commitments in response to issues raised by the public. In general, such issues will be referred to the superintendent for investigation, study, or recommendation. Any public members wishing to speak regarding agenda items may raise their hand or submit their name in the chat section to alert Stephen that you want to speak. Stephen will state your name prior to unmuting your microphone. You will have 3 minutes to address the board. Please restate your name and state your address for the public record before you begin speaking. Pause and let Stephen, oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
Good afternoon, board. I currently have no hands raised nor any pre-written comments from the public.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen. The public is reminded that you may also send an email to FBOE@flintschools.org to have comments read at the next meeting. Now we will receive the superintendent's communique from Superintendent Stewart.
Thank you. Once again, good evening. With the holiday season upon us, I hope you all have plans to celebrate with those you hold dear. This is my favorite time of year and brings back many wonderful memories. For me, I think back to special moments spent cooking and baking with my mother. I still recall the smell of fresh cake batter and the sweet taste of sugar as my siblings and I battled for the spoon. These memories make the holidays extra special for me. Although my mother has passed, I still think of her when I cook to celebrate the holidays. Although the coronavirus pandemic has changed the way we gather, eat, and celebrate this year, I hope you will join me in making new traditions to spread the holiday cheer. In our family, we will celebrate Christmas morning via Zoom so my father can witness his grandchildren unwrap their gifts. These simple gestures remind us how joyful the season can be, even amid complicated times. I hope your holidays will be filled with special moments, the love of those you hold dear, and opportunities to spread goodwill to your neighbors. As 2020 comes to a close, I would like to once again thank our outgoing board members, Betty Ramsdale, Blake Strozier, and Board President Casey Lester. Your service to our community in good times and in challenging times has been instrumental, and our schools will be better for it. I also want to take a moment to remember Mr. George Merritt Finch, who we were saddened to lose last week. Many of you know him as the Flint Community Schools Assistant Athletic Director, but others know him as a husband, father, and beloved friend. Mr. Finch came to Flint after retiring from General Motors, but his passion to serve the community continued. He ensured our scholars had what they needed to succeed and often reached into his own pocket to cover any shortfalls. We remember Mr. Finch, his grace, compassion, and giving, and all those we have lost. They and their families are in our hearts this holiday season. As the world continues to change, we want to ensure our families receive important news and updates. Last month, we announced the district is launching a monthly e-newsletter to keep our families informed. Families and friends of the district can subscribe to the e-newsletter by visiting the district's website at flintschools.org, where you will be prompted to share your name, email, and phone number. Please check your junk mailbox and add us as a safe sender to ensure you receive the e-newsletter. Critical communication will also continue to be shared on the district website at flintschools.org via robocalls and on FCS social media platforms. But the e-newsletter will be an added communication tool to meet our families where they are. On social media, the Flint Focused Working Together live stream series continues. Last month, we had more than 700 views of our live stream regarding the role of community education.
Good.
This month's live stream will be on Thursday, December 17th from 4 to 5 p.m. and will focus on remembering holidays past and celebrating our staff. We hope community members will join us in celebrating our staff alongside and continuing to engage in the series moving forward. Join us by visiting our Facebook page at facebook.com/Flint Community Schools. Finally, the Flint Community Schools Administration Building will be closed beginning Monday, December 21st for the holiday break. We will reopen on Monday, January 4th to staff and families by appointment only as we resume school online. We encourage members of the public to contact 810-760-1000 to make an appointment. As we enter 2021, we know the hard work will continue, but I cannot imagine a better team of staff, board members, community partners, scholars, and families. I encourage everyone to disconnect during holiday break and spend time with your families. Make snowmen, cozy up by the warm fireplace, enjoy some warm hot cocoa, and create new memories like the one I shared. Thank you for continuing to place our scholars first. Thank you for putting in the extra hours to ensure our scholars succeed. We see each and every one of you. We hope you have a relaxing, much-deserved holiday break and look forward to returning in the new year, refreshed and ready to succeed. I also want to thank board members for stopping in today to greet and say hello to our new board members who will be joining us in January. We had a wonderful opportunity of having a new board members orientation today that went extremely, extremely well. I want to say thank you to new board member Joyce McNeil and new board member Laura McIntyre, who will be joining us in January. Thank you to, once again, to the board members who stopped in on today to say hello and to offer support for this new board member orientation. Have a happy holiday, and I look forward to seeing you all in January.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice.
What about the third board member? Because we got 3 coming, right, Mrs. Stewart?
We do, but the other board member was not able to participate in the new board member orientation on today. So
Okay.
today it was just with Mrs. McNeil and Mrs. McIntyre.
Okay.
Are they watching this broadcast, Superintendent Stewart?
So I do see Miss McIntyre is on. I'm not sure if Miss McNeil is on, but I do see that Miss McIntyre is on.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was, if I may, it was a very, very well organized orientation, better than any I've ever seen. And it was as Ms. Stewart does, it was organized, the agenda was down, things were covered, questions were answered. I only stayed for about an hour, but it is the kind of orientation that all new board members need. And it was made very clear that if there's questions, that they can ask them, and how things will. It was just really good, and I would hope that as elections go forward and Stewart is with us, that we will continue, that the board will continue to have such orientations. If you were a new person, she hit the nail on the head with that one.
Absolutely. I was there briefly and got to speak with them, and it's exciting to think about the how everything ebbs and flows, right? So the board always changes, and such an organic experience on the changeover. So how exciting for fresh faces, fresh ideas, everything new. It's just super exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Superintendent Stewart. I appreciate that. Board members, I would like to entertain a motion and a second to approve the action items in batch that were moved from the December 9th, 2020 Committee of the Whole. Human Resources Committee action item 1.16 and 1.17, Finance and Operations Committee action item 11.58, Board Committee of the Whole action item 21.19 through 21.22, Academics Committee action items 25.33 through 25.38.
So moved.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we approve all action items in batch. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, the motion to approve action items in batch will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve. Vice President Wright?
Yes.
Secretary Ramsdell?
Yes.
Treasurer Green?
Yes.
Trustee McIntosh? Trustee Perry? Trustee Perry?
Here she comes.
What are we doing? I'm sorry, UPS knocked at the door and I had to get it.
Okay. We are voting on the action items in batch from the Committee of the Whole.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Trustee Strozier?
Yes.
And it's a yes for me. The motion passes 6-0. Okay, new action and information items.
Excuse me, President Lester.
Yes, ma'am.
We approved it, but 2123, the reinstatement of expelled students, I don't think we've read that. Or is that on your calendar or on your sheet at a later time?
Point of clarity, it is.
Oh,
It will
is that
follow,
okay?
it will follow, yep.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. So Finance and Operations Committee, Ms. Dumpray.
Are there any questions on the information that I provided?
Thank you, Ms. Napre.
You said no questions?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anybody have any questions for Ms. Dumpray? Perfect.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Ms. Dumpray.
You're welcome.
Okay. I seek your approval to reinstate the expelled student. Ms. Ramsdell?
Conditional reinstatement of an expelled student. A petition for a reinstatement was filed on behalf of 2 students based upon the recommendations of the reinstatement committee at a hearing held on December 10th, 2020. The Board of Education concurs with the committee's recommendations. Based on this information and recommendation, the following is proposed. Be it resolved that the Board of Education directs that 2 students conditionally reinstated as students of the Flint Community Schools. I seek a motion and a second to approve this action.
So moved.
So moved. Seconded.
All those in, Casey, it's yours to do roll call.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion to approve action item 21.23 will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve the motion. Vice President Wright,
Yes.
Secretary Ramsdell, Secretary Ramsdell,
Yes.
Treasurer Green,
Yes.
Trustee McIntosh, Trustee Perry,
Yes.
Trustee Strozier,
Yes.
and it's a yes for me. The motion passes 6-0. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramsdell. I appreciate it. Now for the Academics Committee of the whole. Board members, as a reminder, we must give the public an opportunity to comment about the extended COVID-19 learning plan after we hear the update from Mr. Jones. So I'd like to inform the public that while Mr. Jones is presenting, and if you wish to make a comment about the extended COVID-19 learning plan, please make sure you submit a comment in the chat so we'll be able to call upon you. Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Jones.
All right, I need to be able to share my screen. Okay, let's see. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We provided this for you last month, and we're going to be doing this every month until the end of the school year. So we want to continue to engage. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We want to continue to engage our families with a holistic approach, encompassing enrollment, connectivity, participation, and relationships. These are areas that we are watching to ensure our scholars are participating during this unprecedented time. We're looking at our attendance data. We are happy to say that we've had 30 scholars, 29 actually scholars that has been added to our roll. Our attendance percentage for the month of November is 78%. We're continuing to work with our schools and our attendance agents to ensure that our scholars are showing up and are available for our distance learning opportunities as well as our online opportunities. We have, as far as connectivity, we have given out 957 hotspots. We have given out, sorry, I'm trying to move this webinar piece here, 3,180 devices and 2,618 technology tickets have been resolved with our families and our scholars. And these before you are our schools and what they received as it pertains to devices. Our special population served, 67 scholars served in our English language learners. Scholars with disabilities, 805 scholars with IEPs, 150 scholars in self-contained and ECDD classrooms. Our DIBELS completion rate, we are at 67% of our K-3 scholars have completed the DIBELS test.
That's
and
good.
You can see that by school. It is always our hope to have 100% of our scholars completing any of our tests. And we'll continue to work with our principals to ensure that we will get there. NWEA completion rates, math and reading, 74.36% for math and 73% for reading. We do have a concern with our high schoolers. As you can see, our high schoolers are not showing up for the testing and testing during the windows we have. We have received communication from our administrator at Southwestern Academy, and we're meeting to resolve for our February testing cycle to ensure that these percentages will change. And so I myself is involved in that, and we will be meeting with the administration of Southwestern Academy to ensure that our scholars are testing, because those numbers are unacceptable.
Right.
Yeah.
Instructional and support for staff this month, 117 elementary professional learning sessions, and that could be one-on-one sessions. 142 FCS staff members collaborated in Google Classroom to share strategies, resources, and documents. 20 NWEA and DIBELS assessment support sessions Monday through Friday from 8 to 9. 26 of 83 secondary teachers supported through one-on-one coaching this month. Also, we want to remind you that we've had 12 professional development sessions. And as you can see in blue, those are some of the sessions that we're continuing to have with our school district staff. 2 parent group presentations, topics, tips for supporting your scholar, and Michigan e-library. 2 academic tip sheets created and shared, the flip grid and remind. Instructional technology support provided, 53 one-on-one technology device or platform related coaching sessions. And these are all conducted, this instructional support is conducted by our district instructional specialists. Family supports. We've had 15,619 calls made to support our families, to support instruction and scholar engagement, informational sessions, how to work the Google Classroom and Zoom. And as you can see, those numbers are continuing to increase, and our parent facilitators or engagement officers are working very hard to ensure that our families are being supported. We've had another citywide event, and we're continuing to work with our families to ensure that they are getting the support that they need. Not only are we calling, but we're having citywide events on Facebook to ensure that our families can connect.
I think I know that lady.
Yes. Our wellness team, over 11,217 documented wellness calls completed to Flint families. This is outside of our parent engagement officers. Over 621 home visits. I just want to openly thank all of our wellness team for putting themselves in harm's way to ensure that our families are supported. To have 621 home visits means that someone had to go up to family doors and put themselves out there to ensure that our families are well taken care of. So hats off to our wellness teams for that work. We're continuing to work with our CRIM and Youth Quest. They're continuing their work with our schools, expanded learning for our scholars, our health services, early education, adult programs, family engagement, community economic engagement, graduation, and attendance. There's a few new things that are here that I wanted to make sure we point out. The launching of Reading Corps at 6 sites begins in January. They have done meetings for those, and I wanted to make sure that you knew that our Reading Corps is going to be back up and running for 6 of our schools.
Good.
50,000 pounds of food was distributed at the drive-through event that took place last month.
That's wonderful.
And last but not least, we were at about 270,000 meals. Now we're at 430,000 meals since August 5th. And over 1.1 million meals have been served since March. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hold on one quick second. We have to give the public opportunity to ask questions first, and then
Okay.
board gets questions after that. So thank you very much, Mr. Jones. I appreciate your time and the effort put into everything that you and your team have been doing. So that being said, Stephen, do we have any comments or questions from the public currently?
No new questions or hand raised for the conversation.
Okay, perfect. Ms. Perry?
With the wellness, just give me a couple of examples of what parents would be calling about. Hey, Rhoda Jr.
Sure. So with the wellness team, it could be anything from MTSS or behavior or social work needs, or if families are in need of supports or resources during this
Okay.
pandemic time. Those are the type of things that our wellness team, they're calling for, and also to ensure attendance as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lester,
Mr. Ramsdell?
I think it's great that our families have someone to call and they know they can call them. That if you're looking for information and you just feel, okay, who do I call? What do I call? I think what the wellness team has done is really remarkable work, so needed to ensure confidence from the parents that they have somebody to call and that they trust them, and it just eliminates the feeling of total being enclosed and not having any place to go and who do I turn to. It is really, during this, it has really been helpful. So just really thumbs up, heads up, everything up to that whole group of people.
Absolutely. 100% agreed. Any other board members? Any other questions, comments?
I have a question.
Yep. Vice President
Did
Wright?
you hear? Back to the number, the percentage of students in high school who were tested. Is that reflective of the attendance rate as well, or how do we get a percentage like those that we saw?
Yes, ma'am. Talking to the administrators, the times that testing is taking place, trying to link those scholars and get them tested has been an issue for them. However, in talking with the administrators, one of the things that we're looking to do in February's testing cycle is to ensure that whatever the opportunity that the scholars are available, we make sure that we are testing our scholars. We need data in order to inform our planning and to inform us of how to move forward with our scholars with formative assessments and interventions. So we are going to change our approach for Southwestern to ensure that we meet the need depending on when scholars are available to test, instead of making a window and saying this is when we're testing. And so that's one of the things that I've discussed with the administrator that needs to change. If our window isn't working, then we make a window work for our families.
Okay, so the average daily attendance is higher than that. They're just sort of bowing out when you tell them that we're going to test on that day.
I can't say specifically, Ms. Wright, but I understand where you're going, what you're saying with that, and I think that's some of it. But our conversations are going to deepen, so we can really get down to why it is that we're at 30% instead of over at least 70. I have had conversations with the administrator, but we need to go deeper in the conversation to ensure that that doesn't happen in February.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions from board members? Hi, Ms. McIntosh. I see you now.
Hi, how are you, Casey?
Good to see you again.
Hello, everyone.
Board members, does anybody have any questions about the comparative report?
Great report.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much, Assistant Superintendent Jones. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
At this time, I would like to give the public an additional opportunity to address the board. Stephen, please check and let me know if anybody wishes to speak.
There are currently no more new questions.
The public is reminded that you may also send an email to FBOE@flintschools.org to have comments read at the next meeting. Before we adjourn, would any board members like to make a comment? Ms. Ransdell?
I just want to say thank you to all the board members that I've worked with. It's been 11 years. I've learned a lot. I came in with 44 years of teaching experience, and as I said to the new board members, you think you've got a handle on it, but it's totally different when you come in and you're on this side of the fence, the Board of Education side. It has been, I hope I've been a contributor. I believe I have contributed some. We've agreed on things, we've disagreed on things. We have made plans, we have lost plans. We have done, but through it all, even the good times and the bads, we didn't always agree with each other. But the bottom line was, as I really feel that every member of the board that I've served with really had students' best interest at heart and the school districts. Sometimes we were right, sometimes we were wrong. But bottom line was, is our main focus was the students and trying to give them a life. I almost wish we had a one-year plan to run, because I would have liked to continue to work with Ms. Stewart and Mr. Jones. This executive team, I think, is one of the best, if not the best, that I've seen since I've been on the board. And I just wish all of you, first of all, the best health, but also the best to come in the coming years. And I hope I'll be able to find some committees or volunteer work, if I can, to be able to continue doing some work with the Board of Education. So thank you for all your time. Thank you for your words. We'll skip the other words. But all of you, take care, and just the best of everything in the future. Casey and Blake, I owe you a drink, and as soon as the COVID's gone, we can. All right?
Mr. President.
I would just like to say it's been nice to serve with you all, and I wish you all well in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much, Ms. Perry. Mr. Strozier?
All right, as Assistant Superintendent Jones knows, as a preacher, we always come with our stuff prepared and written. So if you bear with me for a few moments as I give my allocution for the final statement from me, from the board member. Good evening, fellow board members, central office administration, staff, community members, and everyone else. Today is a bittersweet day for me. As I looked at the award given to me today, my mind reflected back to a 22-year-old who wanted to come home and make a difference. So I left my job at the Ruth Miles Applewood for my initial interview, and after 5 rounds of voting, I was appointed to this position. For the past 9.5 years, I've been seated as a voice for the Flint community, for the parents of a new generation that wants to see their hometown thrive and be successful. From Assistant Secretary Treasurer to Vice President It has all been an honor to serve my community. I'm reminded of a quote that board member Perry told me at my first briefing in the garage at Applewood. Make decisions that you can rest and go to sleep with at night. While some of the votes that we've had made were not popular, they were votes that I felt were best for our community. Kind of hard to believe that a quarter of my life I've been on this board. Many of you have been present at some of my high points and my low moments. The birth of my daughter and the generous gifts from many in the community as well as board members, my wedding to the love of my life, Ashley, as well as upon the death of my father and the outpouring of love from across this state and nation as me and my family sought to move forward without daddy. There is no doubt that we have many flaws as board members, that sometimes we've let our egos get in the way. Not every superintendent was bad for this community. Sometimes we allowed ourselves to cause unnecessary conflict within our district. While we are a board of 7, we speak as the voice of 1. But one thing for certain is we all have served a purpose in trying to make the lives of the students in Flint better by our actions. To Superintendent Stewart, I wish you the best, as I know your heart is truly for the people and students in this community. My prayers are continuous for you and your staff. I believe the turnaround can be achieved through your leadership. I believe in you. To my fellow board members, I know without a shadow of a doubt that the future may be cloudy right now in the midst of the still pending water crisis, COVID, and continued student loss. But being a man of faith, I believe that the best is yet to come. To Mom Vera, as I've always referred to her, even going back to school, thank you for your dedication and your care to this community. You've known me from before I was born, and you always gave me that motherly love, but also that respect as I matured as a man. To Ms. Carroll, you are truly someone to be admired for your dedication to providing transparency and making sure every student, parent, community member, staff has a voice. To my friend Danielle, thank you for taking a stand when others refuse to make a move. You're an inspiration to not only Black girls around this city, but to our entire world. Keep striving to make a difference. To Mrs. Wright, while we disagreed often, nothing could be more true than your love for the kids in this community. And you want what's best for them and for their families. Most people retire and go to Florida. You retired and want to give back to a community that has gave you so much love, and that is to be commended. To the incoming board members, I wish you the best of luck in the future. You have a mandate to the 3,000 plus students in this community to provide opportunities to them and to help them reach the stars. In doing so, keep the students and families center in your decision making. For Flint to be successful, you cannot put all of your involvement to multiple tasks, trying to fulfill empty promises while padding your resume for future political aspirations on the backs of the students in this community. Be above board. Stand even if you're standing alone. And you may not get your vote. You may not get your vote you want every time, but at least you can say, I tried. To my outgoing board members, President Lester, Secretary Ramsdale, I wouldn't want to exit with any other people but you guys. Casey, bless you, man. You held this district together during the most difficult moments, and you did it with a smile and with dignity and class. Miss Betty, I know Mr. Ramsdale would be more than happy to not share you with the board anymore, but I always heard about the great Betty Ramsdale, and after sitting with you for 9.5 years, it has been my pleasure to share in this district's successes and also to strategize through our district's trials. To my family, thank you for your support. My mom, brother, sister-in-law to be. One of the greatest accomplishments and achievements for me was giving my brother his diploma in 2014 and breaking down crying and hearing Mr. Watkins call me a wuss. To my wife, thank you for always giving me great advice and support. You're a blessing to my life and to this community. To the kids, Clarence, Rosie, and baby Michaela, I know you will be great because you're surrounded by a community of prayers and a community of family. To the citizens of this community, thank you for your votes over the years. To my church family in Saginaw, the Tabernacle Mission Baptist Church, for your prayers for me daily, our deacons, trustees, and all of our ministry leaders. And lastly, to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who has given me the ability to do this. Flint, I love you, as evident by this jersey I'm wearing right now. And in the words of the 44th president, Strozier out.
He gone.
Oh, he gone for real? Oh.
I'm still here. I'm still here, okay?
Oh, okay.
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. That was wonderful, Blake. And I absolutely could not follow something up like that. I will say, exiting. Well, did anybody else have anything to say before I close it out? I can't see right now. I cannot see Diana Wright. So if you have something to say, I hope you're not waving.
I just want to say,
So,
you know, best wishes to you all, and you know, in whatever your future endeavors are, enjoy yourselves. That's it.
I appreciate that. Well, I am not nearly.
Quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I had the pleasure of having a seat next to Casey, next to Blake, and next to Betty. And I just want to say thank you guys for listening to me talk too much. Make the comments that only you heard. Thank you for being so kind and teaching me stuff that I didn't know or stuff that I thought I knew but really didn't know. So thank you guys for putting up with me, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Danielle.
You know,
Loved it.
I'll say, kind of as I can see the screen, Danny, I appreciate the times that we sat next to each other and the immature, childish giggles that we had talking about inappropriate things that we should not be talking about at a board meeting.
True.
Betty, I appreciate talking to you about the inappropriate things that we should not be talking about at a board meeting. I couldn't ask for better than that. Vera, I told you years ago when I first came on this board that you were going to love me regardless of if you want to or not. And at this point, I'm going to tell you, I'm convinced you love me whether you wanted to or not. And so I appreciate you. Carol, I don't think that there's anybody else who is as truthful as a person as you are. And goodness, girl, I appreciate, I never, ever questioned where you stood on any issue. And I just absolutely respect the hell out of you for that. Blake, I loved sitting down and having tacos and beers with you. I won't let
Hey, you're
anybody
not
know
supposed
that
to
it was
talk about the
before
beers, man. Come on now.
I won't let anybody know which board meeting it was that we came to after tacos and beers. But I really appreciated everything and just being somebody that I could chat with. And Diana, you and I, when I ran in 2016, got very close. And you reached out to me and asked me to apply for this seat. And I just want to let the world know that good or bad, whatever my tenure on this board yielded, it's all your fault, because I would have not applied and I would have not known had it not been for you. So good, bad, or ugly, whatever I brought to this board is all your fault. So I appreciate your time that you've spent with me and everything like that. Anita, as Blake had said earlier, we had good superintendents before, and I agree. I think that we had the right thing at the wrong time before, and the right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. And I think right now we're very fortunate to have the right thing at the right time, and that is absolutely you. I maybe I'm a bit of a megalomaniac, and I get apprehensive about leaving anything to anybody else's control, because I'm a bit of a control freak, I think. But I have no doubt in your ability to continue to do amazing and great things for the Flint Community Schools, the scholars, the attitude, and all of that stuff. And so I recognize that you can't judge the greatness of a leader by what happens in their when they're there. You have to judge it by what happens when they're gone, because the systems that they put in place to run are really what makes the machine continue to go. And I know, 20, 30, 40 years down the road, when you decide to retire from Flint Community Schools, I hope that everything is just continuing to flow as best it can. So I guess as my last quote, because I'm sure there's probably somebody listening that wants a quote for something, the last 5 words that I'll leave this for is Flint now and Flint forever. So that being said, I want to let everybody know the board's annual organization meeting, followed by its committee of the whole, will be held Wednesday, January 13th, 2021 at 6:30. I hope everybody has a happy and safe holiday, and I wish the best of luck to my oncoming board members. Good luck, and continue to do the right thing. So that being said, meeting adjourned.
No takesies, backsies, new board members. It's your job now.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Thank you all.